love the Eagles as much as we do, then hit that subscribe button and stick with us at Eagles Nest News for all the drama, updates, and hype all season long. Andy Reid, the veteran head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, has stirred the football world in a way nobody expected. Known for his calm, strategic, and almost paternal approach inside locker rooms, Reid recently let slip a few words that quickly became fuel for Philadelphia Eagles fans' fiery reactions. What seemed like a casual media conversation immediately turned into headlines across social media, fan forums, and even TV analyst commentaries. Reid, who led the Eagles for 13 years, was blunt in his statements, making remarks that many interpreted as critical or even provocative toward the team he once helped shape and mold. Between subtle praises of his current team and comparisons to his time in Philadelphia, Reid couldn't hold back, and the result was instant. A wave of strong reactions from Eagles supporters, who feel betrayed and irritated by their former coach's stance. Social media was rapidly flooded with disapproval, ironic memes, and questions about why Reid chose this particular moment to speak, reigniting old rivalries that seemed long buried. It's as if past and present collided in a storm of emotions nobody was prepared for, and the aftermath is only gaining momentum. Every platform became a stage for analysis, debate, and speculation, proving that Reid's influence reaches far beyond the field and into the emotional core of fans who followed his career closely. Interestingly, despite leading one of the most dominant teams in the NFL today, Reid seems unable to resist commenting on his past, especially on a team that shaped him as a coach. In an interview that appeared routine, Reid made observations that sounded, to many fans, like veiled digs at the Eagles' current situation, or at the very least, implied a critical perspective from someone who had firsthand experience. This generated heated debates, with some arguing it's natural for coaches to reflect on their past teams, while others claim Reid crossed the line, reopening old wounds among fans who still vividly remember the highs and lows of his tenure. The tension is not just symbolic. It carries real weight in the relationship between the public and the coach. Some sports journalists even speculated whether these comments were a subtle tactic to motivate his current players, using comparisons between the past and present as a leadership tool, albeit a risky one. The narrative spread like wildfire, with news outlets dissecting every word, questioning whether Reid's provocation was intentional or merely an unfiltered moment of honesty. Fans, former players, and analysts were all caught up in the swirl, trying to decipher his true intention behind words that seemed harmless at first glance, but carried undeniable weight. The statements also affected Eagles players indirectly, as interviews revealed subtle frustration among current and former team members over Reid's remarks. Sources cited anonymously by commentators suggested that, even from afar, Reid has a unique ability to stir old emotions, reopening conversations about his leadership style and decisions during his Philadelphia tenure. This ripple effect underscores how words from a respected figure can create a domino effect, impacting fans, players, and the media simultaneously. Reid's comments are like a stone thrown into a calm lake, sending ripples in every direction, hitting loyal fans and rival teams alike. The intensity of the response illustrates that the relationship between Reid and the Eagles was never purely professional. It was deeply emotional, almost symbolic, and Reid seems acutely aware of this dynamic, intentionally or not. Meanwhile, the Chiefs, despite their strength, become secondary players in a spectacle Reid initiated himself, showing how football encompasses not just strategy and plays, but emotion, history, and rivalries that extend well beyond the field. The timing of Reid's remarks added another layer of complexity as they touched sensitive subjects, particularly regarding comparisons to current coaches and recent team decisions. Eagles fans are unlikely to forgive anything that seems to demean their team, and Reid walked right into that territory. The tension sparked by his words revived discussions about his coaching style, roster choices, and in-game decisions that shaped his time with Philadelphia. For some, Reid could have maintained respect and silence, but instead, he delivered what appeared to be a subtle provocation disguised as reflection, which quickly went viral. The internet amplified every nuance, transforming the statements into debates, thorough analyses, and humorous memes circulating globally within hours. While not everyone condemned him, some argued Reed was simply sharing professional insight. The majority viewed the remarks as a veiled attack on his former team. As the Chiefs continue their season, the shadow Reed casts over the Eagles grows, reminding everyone that rivalry and personal history can make headlines even without a game taking place. Insiders suggest that Reed's comments may have been a deliberate media strategy to keep attention on himself and his team. If true, it demonstrates his understanding of the power of words and public perception, creating buzz without touching a football. Critics, however, warn this is risky, as a poorly received comment could damage his reputation, despite his status as one of the most respected and charismatic coaches in the league. The tension between intention and interpretation is what makes this episode so captivating. Nobody is certain whether Reed was being sincere, provocative, or calculated, but the effect is undeniable. Fans, journalists, and analysts dissect each phrase, turning the scenario into a sports drama with characters, conflicts, and endless twists. This narrative grows with each tweet, commentary, or radio segment, proving that in football, the weight of personal history can be as powerful as any touchdown or game-winning play. As Eagles fans process Reed's words, the story spreads to international forums, sports podcasts, and conversations among fans of other teams, demonstrating that a coach's influence extends far beyond the field. Each new interpretation sparks fresh debate, keeping the episode alive and intensifying emotions. Some argue Reed reignited a dormant rivalry, bringing to light old discussions about leadership and coaching style, while others claim he merely exposed latent feelings waiting for a trigger. Regardless of perspective, the immediate impact is clear. Fans, players, and media remain on high alert, anticipating follow-ups. The Reed Eagles buzz is a powerful reminder that in sports, words can hit as hard as plays, and a coach's legacy lingers in the memories and emotions of fans long after their tenure ends. The buzz surrounding Andy Reid doesn't stop at his direct statements. It quickly escalated into speculation about potential reactions from the Eagles and how this could affect future matchups. Passionate fans began imagining scenarios where Reid might provoke his former team in interviews, social media posts, or even during games, creating a tension-filled atmosphere that transcends competition. Old quotes, photos, and behind-the-scenes stories resurfaced, each analyzed for hidden meaning, perceived mockery, or veiled criticism. Reid ignited an invisible spark, and now every movement is scrutinized, turning a simple statement into a sprawling narrative connecting past and present. Fans of other teams also joined in, taking sides, commenting, and amplifying the story. Memes, viral videos, and deep analyses transformed the incident into a media phenomenon, showcasing the power of words and personal history. Each reinterpretation fuels new theories, debates, and predictions, keeping the discussion alive for weeks. Reid's influence proves that even off the field, his presence can dominate the sports conversation, as past rivalries and personal legacies become a central focus of media and fan attention. Some analysts suggest Reid may be testing Eagles fans' patience, gauging how history and nostalgia can be used as psychological tools. The idea of a coach manipulating public perception and emotions remotely may sound audacious, but Reid's career demonstrates his awareness of impact. This turns seemingly mundane comments into tactical narrative instruments, shaping engagement and morale in subtle ways. Critics, meanwhile, argue the approach is risky, as a backlash could harm his image. Behind-the-scenes rumors, speculation, and professional commentary all contribute to heightened tension, with every word scrutinized like a calculated move in a verbal chess game. The situation highlights how personal history can rival strategic plays in importance, proving that rivalry, provocation, and emotional memory are key ingredients in professional football, whether intentionally wielded or not. The psychological effect on Eagles fans is unmistakable. Frustration pours out across social media, with reactions ranging from lighthearted memes to sharp criticism, creating a collective expression of emotion. This response demonstrates the depth of connection between supporters and the team's history, showing that even years after Reed's departure, his words retain the power to influence sentiment. The narrative spreads rapidly beyond local fan bases, gaining interpretations and spins that Reed likely never imagined. Rumor becomes autonomous, shaping discourse independently of the original statement, with fans eagerly anticipating reactions. Each new interpretation reinforces the tension, ensuring the story remains at the forefront of sports media, proving that emotional resonance can rival athletic achievement in its capacity to generate buzz. Meanwhile, speculation arises about how the Eagles might respond officially, if at all. Some argue silence is strategic, avoiding further attention, while others insist a response is necessary to defend the club's image and calm fans. This debate between ignoring or engaging creates intrigue, as any action will be interpreted multiple ways. Media scrutiny intensifies, with analysts reading every statement by players and staff as a potential clue in the ongoing narrative. Uncertainty fuels rumor, highlighting that psychological games off the field can be as compelling as contests on it. Rumors suggest Reed may be consciously leveraging this incident to keep focus on himself and the Chiefs. This illustrates that a coach's influence extends beyond tactical choices, shaping public perception, media narratives, and fan emotions. Analysts speculate he might be constructing a psychological spectacle, where each word becomes a chapter in a story of rivalry, memory, and provocation, maintaining relevance and visibility even off-field. This interpretation portrays Reed as a master strategist in both football and media, keeping fans and analysts on edge, waiting for the next move. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The buzz also sparks debates about loyalty, memory, and respect, particularly among longtime Eagles fans who followed Reed from his first days with the team. For them, the episode is a reminder that past stories can resurface anytime, and emotional bonds with iconic coaches are complex and ambivalent. Memories of victories, defeats, and historic moments give Reed's comments symbolic weight, serving as a trigger for reflection on identity, nostalgia, and rivalry. Each remark, nuance, and viral interpretation reinforces that football is more than sport. It is culture, collective memory, and emotion, and coaches like Reed can shape this narrative profoundly, intentionally or otherwise. The ultimate effect of this saga is still unfolding, but one thing is clear. Andy Reid, with a few words, has reignited rivalries, provoked fans, and dominated media attention. What began as an apparently casual remark has become a sports phenomenon, involving fans, media, players, and analysts in a narrative blending past, present, and speculation about the future. Reed demonstrates that a coach's personal history can drive engagement, emotion, and viral buzz, maintaining influence long after leaving a team. Even distant from the Eagles, his presence in fans' imaginations remains powerful, proving that in football, rivalry and storytelling walk hand in hand, and words can hit as hard as touchdowns. Finally, the overarching narrative is one of anticipation, speculation, and electric uncertainty, as rumors suggest that Derrick Henry's decision to join the Eagles may resonate across multiple seasons, influencing not only immediate matchups, but also the strategic evolution of teams league-wide. Analysts debate endlessly about long-term implications, from how defensive strategies might permanently shift to whether future star running backs will emulate his style in an attempt to match or counteract his dominance. Fans participate in this dialogue with equal fervor, imagining iconic plays, legendary collisions, and moments that could define the narrative of an era. Every rumor, from whispers of tactical adjustments to theories about psychological intimidation, contributes to a growing sense of inevitability surrounding Henry's impact. In a league defined by preparation, adaptability, and elite athleticism, the arrival of one player capable of reshaping strategies, intimidating rivals, and inspiring his teammates creates a story that feels larger than life. The speculation is relentless, the debates are passionate, and the anticipation is palpable as the NFL community collectively braces for what could become a defining chapter in the history of the conference, with Derrick Henry at the very center of it all. Finally, the overall atmosphere surrounding Hurts' rumored departure is electric, filled with suspense, anticipation, and emotional resonance. Nick Sirianni's handling of the situation, fans' fervent speculation, and the strategic implications for the Eagles all contribute to a narrative that feels larger than life. The story is being followed not only for its immediate impact on game plans or roster moves, but also for what it represents in terms of leadership, ambition, and team culture. Analysts, fans, and casual observers alike are captivated by the uncertainty and the possibilities, imagining the drama of locker room adjustments, offensive recalibrations, and the eventual unveiling of how the Eagles will respond. Rumors continue to swirl with every subtle hint, media report, and insider leak, keeping the narrative alive and compelling. The intersection of human emotion, professional ambition, and organizational strategy has created a story that feels cinematic, deeply personal, and full of suspense. Even without official confirmation, the anticipation surrounding Hurts' potential departure is shaping discussions, predictions, and expectations, creating a sense of collective engagement and emotional investment in what could be a transformative moment for both the quarterback and the Philadelphia Eagles. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.